Blessings, friends. It's Maya here with an astro update. On April 23rd, we have a full moon in the intense, passionate, and strategic sign of Scorpio at 4 degrees. A full moon is when the sun and the moon oppose each other in the sky, creating a release, peak, or culmination point. Scorpio is a fixed water sign filled with powerful, magnetic, emotional, and intense regenerative energy. This sign also rules the reproductive organs. The fixed signs of Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius, as well as anyone with planets around 4 degrees, will likely feel this lunation the most. For a deeper understanding of this full moon, think back to what was going on mid-November when we had a new moon in Scorpio. What seeds were you planting then that are coming to fruition now? This can be a time of gaining clarity when it comes to the deeper layers of our psyche. On a positive level, this full moon in Scorpio can be rebirthing, magnetic, passionate, purposeful, and transformative. On a negative level, this full moon in Scorpio can be controlling, obsessive, intense, emotional, and secretive. Scorpio is all about facing our shadows and dealing with the hidden underworld. The moon is naturally in its fall in Scorpio, which means it can feel quite uncomfortable and there can be some overwhelming feelings at this time. The traditional ruler of this full moon is Mars, the planet of action, warrior-like energy, passion, and aggression. The sun in Taurus and the moon in Scorpio will be squaring Pluto in Aquarius, creating a T-square. T-squares can signify a lot of tension and built-up pressure, so much so that there's a need to surrender to things that are out of our control. We may feel inclined to cling on to an old path, yet it's important to have a breakthrough moment to embrace a new one. If this full moon is calling you to let go of something, face the shadows and let go of it for your own rebirth. On the flip side, this T-square pressure can be a diamond polishing moment, helping us to dig deeper beneath the surface level to find a long-forgotten crystal. Observing as many angles of reflection, it could bring us to a moment of clarity, awareness, and understanding, or bring us to more questions to the many mysteries of life. The ruler of this moon, Mars, the planet of action and warrior-like energy, is also approaching a conjunction with Neptune, the planet of dreams and illusion. This energy can have us fighting for a lost cause, taking action on something with rose-colored glasses, or on the flip side, it can have us sacrificing ourselves for a greater cause, taking action for the collective and humanitarian works, and doing something to help others. Mars conjunct Neptune outcomes depend on what decisions we're making, fear-based actions, or taking aligned, integral actions. It's important to note the total eclipse in Aries energy is still active, as well as the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction still being active, all amidst the Scorpionic full moon. Scorpio moons are already intense. Adding in these active layers lingering from this month can add to the emotional intensity. We've had an action-packed month, especially with Mars ruling the solar eclipse, conjoining with Saturn, ruling this full moon, and conjoining with Neptune here at the end of the month. And Mars here, the ruler of this lunation, will also be sextiling the wonderful Jupiter-Uranus conjunction, flowing to these sudden expansive changes. This sextile can help us take aligned action in regards to this new changing 14-year cycle of Jupiter-Uranus and the new paths many are embarking on at this time. We also have Venus, the planet of love and beauty, conjoined with Chiron, the wounded healer, which can mean tenderly and lovingly caring for our wounds on a mind, body, and soul level, like gently rubbing a healing herbal salve on the wounds that have been resurfacing. Overall, the Scorpionic lunation can bring deeper levels of awareness to ourselves or to others' hidden psychological tendencies, bringing them to the surface to process, find clarity, and understanding. Questions and journal prompts to ask ourselves during this Scorpio full moon. What area of our life do we need to release control or gain control? Is there an area of our life with ourselves or others where there has been power struggles, and how can we regain the balance? What esoteric wisdom or psychological knowledge can we embark upon? What areas of emotional intelligence can we work on, and how can we gain better acceptance and awareness of our emotional realm? What transformation, death, or rebirth are we going through, if any? What area of life have we been hiding behind the shadows, and how can we illuminate this area with love, light, and understanding? What does our connection look like when it comes to our sexual organs and reproductive system? What does our relationships look like now when it comes to our deep, intimate bonds? What darkness in the world or in our life have we been clinging on to, and how can we find greater confidence to move on our aligned path with willpower and determination? In what ways are we willing to take action when it comes to letting go of what no longer serves us? What area of our life needs to be broken down to have a breakthrough? How can we take aligned action for a greater cause? What deeper clarity is resurfacing for us that was once deeply embedded within the underworld of our psyche? What can we do with this clarity, once hidden information, to rebirth ourselves in transformative ways? What area of life will this full moon in Scorpio be happening for you based upon your rising sign? For Aries rising, this full moon is happening in your 8th house. This could be a peak culmination point or a letting go having to do with shared resources, shared money, investments, inheritances, loans, taxes, mortgages, as well as sex and deep bonds. For Taurus rising, this full moon will be happening in your 7th house. This could be a peak, a culmination point, or a letting go having to do with personal relationships, business relationships, contracts, marriages, agreements, negotiations, and legal documents. For Gemini rising, this full moon will be happening in your 6th house. This could be a peak, culmination point, or a letting go having to do with one's health and work, employment, daily routine, diet, exercise, as well as pets and animals. For Cancer rising, this full moon will be happening in your 5th house. This could be a peak, culmination point, or a letting go having to do with one's creativity, romance, children, celebrations, hobbies, as well as small businesses. For Leo rising, this full moon will be happening in your 4th house. This could be a peak, culmination point, or a letting go having to do with one's home and family, property, real estate, inner security, and ancestral lineage. For Virgo rising, this full moon will be happening in your 3rd house. This could be a peak, culmination point, or a letting go having to do with one's communication, local travel, neighborhood, siblings, online content, as well as short-form writing and short-form learning. For Libra rising, this full moon will be happening in your 2nd house. This could be a peak or a culmination point or a letting go having to do with one's income, how you make money, physical possessions, self-esteem, as well as values. For Scorpio rising, this full moon will be happening in your 1st house. This could be a peak, culmination point, or a letting go having to do with one's self, identity, physical body, outward appearance, as well as new endeavors. For Sagittarius rising, this full moon will be happening in your 12th house. This could be a peak, culmination point, or a letting go having to do with one's mental health, subconscious realm, dreams, spirituality. For Capricorn rising, this full moon will be happening in your 11th house. This could be a peak, culmination point, or a letting go having to do with large groups of people, friends, friendships, networks, organizations, as well as future hopes and wishes. For Aquarius rising, this full moon will be happening in your 10th house. This could be a peak, culmination point, or a letting go having to do with one's career, public image, reputation, leadership, authority, achievement, and parental figures. For Pisces rising, this full moon will be happening in your 9th house. This could be a peak, culmination point, or a letting go having to do with one's higher learning, long-distance travel, belief systems, religion, as well as publishing and teaching. Full moon in Scorpio, blessings to you all.